Hello everyone, myself Sukrishna. In this video, I am going to explain classic Excel activities like autofill range activity, copy and paste range activities in UiPath Studio. So let's get started. Autofill range activity. Based on the single cell or multiple cell formats or formula, if we want to autofill the other cell data in the input Excel file, we can use the autofill range activity. So first let me show you how this autofill functionality will works in the Excel file. I have opened the input Excel file and I am in the sheet 3. Here in the A2 cell number I have mentioned the value 10. If I drag this line, so it automatically populated the value. Basically in the A2 cell number we don't have any formats or formula. So that's the reason it is just copying the same value in the remaining cells. In the A3 cell, I am going to mention the one more value 12. So if you see here from A2 cell to A3 cell, the number is incrementing with 2. If I select these two cells and if I drag this line with increment of 2, the next numbers will automatically generated, right? So this way the autofill functionality will works in the Excel file. So let's go to the sheet 1. Here I have mentioned two dates, received date and pivot created date. When you work with autofill functionality, the cell format is matters. So here for the received date, I have mentioned the cell format as date, and for pivot created date, I have mentioned general format. If I select this J2 cell, that is the received date, and if I drag this line, so it automatically increment the date. But if I select the C2 cell, that is the pivot created date, if I drag this line, it will increment the last number, right? So when you work with autofill functionality, we should take care about this cell formatting. Now let's see how we can autofill this received date till J15 based on the J2 and J3 cells. So basically from J2 to J3 the date is incrementing with 2, right? So when you invoke this autofill range activity in UiPath Studio, the next date should be increment with 2 and it should fill till J15, right? So let's go back to the UiPath Studio. For the autofill range activity, we need to mention the sheet name in which you wanted to work. So we are working on sheet 1 only, so I'm not doing any changes here. Then we need to specify the source range. So in this scenario, the source range would be J2 to J3. And then we need to mention the destination range till at what cell you wanted to autofill the data. We might think the destination range should be after the source range, like J4 to J15. But this is not a right way to declare the destination range. The destination range should always start with the source range starting cell number, that is J2. Otherwise we will get the exception. So let me run the process. Let's see whether it will going to autofill the data or it will give the exception. We are getting the exception, right? So let's stop the process and change the destination range from J4 to J2. Now save and run the process and verify the output. Now the process execution has been completed. So let's open the input Excel file. The data has been autofilled, right? In the PO number column, I have mentioned two PO numbers. First PO number ending with 51 and the second PO number ending with 55. The difference is 4, right? So let's see how we can autofill this PO number till A15 by using the A2 cell and A3 cell numbers. So here in this case, so the source range would be A2 to A3 and the destination range would be A2 to A15. So let's run and verify the output. So the remaining cells has been filled with the pivot number by incrementing 4 number, right? For the line item total for G2 cell, I have applied the formula E2 into F2 equal to G2. So that means quantity into unit price will give us the line item total. So let's see how we can autofill this line item total based on the G2 cell. So before that, let me remove the cell data. So let's save the file and go back to the UiPath Studio. So here the range would be G2 and the destination range would be G2 to G15. So let's run and verify the output. So the formula has been applied till G15, right? Copy and paste range activity. As its name says, if we want to copy and paste the data in the input Excel file, we can use the copy paste range activity. In the input Excel file, I wanted to copy PO number and invoice number in the sheet 1 and I want to paste in the sheet 2. So let's see how we can do in the UiPath Studio using copy and paste range activity. In the sheet name section, we need to mention the source sheet name where you wanted to copy the data. And then we need to mention the source range. So in this case, I'm mentioning the source range as A1 to B15. And then we need to mention the destination sheet name where you wanted to paste the data. So I mentioned the destination sheet name as sheet 2, and then we need to mention the destination cell starting cell. So I'm mentioning the A1. So if I run the process, so it will going to copy the data from A1 to B15 in the sheet 1, and then it will go to the sheet 2 and then it will paste the data from the A1 cell. So let's run the process and verify the output. So the process execution has been completed. So let's open the input Excel file. So in the sheet 2 we have a PO number and the invoice number data has been copied. For the copy and paste range activity, we have a property copy items. So here we have few options are available: none, value, formula, number format, cell format, and all. Right? So if you want to copy the data including values, formulas, all the formats, so you can choose the all. But in case if you want to copy only values or only formulas or only cell format, then you can choose these options. This way we can work with autofill range activity, copy and paste range activities in UiPath Studio. Hope this video is helpful. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day.